Yes, men, what is going on? So if you're a man who is watching this video, you are probably facing some challenges right now, be that in your life, be that in your relationships, be that in your career. And at the root cause of most of these problems, men, is a lack of meaning, fulfillment and purpose in a man's life, and the importance of this and how that affects how we show up with belief, with confidence, and connected to a strong core of masculinity in the world right now, as there is a big crisis in the world of this for men. And this is why we're seeing so many issues right now with many men. And this is exactly why I do the work that I do. So I am Paul Garrigan and I'm a men's coach. And, my journey hasn't always been what it is today, because I too have been a man who has had some pretty major struggles in his life that has brought me to the point I am now in my own life. So looking at, this timeline of my life, if you like, looking at, through my younger years was years when I boxed, and I was quite successful over a short period of time. And as soon as I lost that purpose of boxing in the world, things began to spiral in my life at the young age of 19, when I started to indulge in taking anabolic steroids and became addicted to them, became addicted to needing validation, became addicted to how I looked. And this led me to taking drugs, to taking cocaine, and again becoming addicted to these substances and literally pressing the self-destruct button, men, in my own life, and being unable to show up in the world for my family in the way that I wanted to, because I was a young father also at the age of 19, and my life was pretty much chaotic up until around the age of 24, when I was in court and on 2 counts of assault, and I knew something needed to change at that point in my life. So fast forward 2 years, from 2011 to 2013, I joined at that point the Parachute Regiment, which is, the elite, the elite regiment in the British military. And this is where things began to shift for me and change began to happen, because I found structure. I found I was able to find discipline. I found a sense of meaning and of purpose, and I found a sense of belonging and brotherhood in being around other men. And this is something I feel is massively playing a part in the crisis we are currently seeing in the world with men and masculinity, because we're lacking that rites of passage, that initiation to what it actually means to be a man. We are lacking, strong male role models. We're lacking structure, we're lacking discipline, we're lacking purpose. We're basically being men who are being castrated of our balls, and we're losing our sense of identity in the world. And this is exactly what helped me, and why I am so passionate about bringing my experiences in the earlier part of my life into the work that I now do today, in a set method called the Mat to Mastery method, that I help many men with, just like you. So one of them men is one of my brothers, Carl, who has been on quite some journey from being a man who's struggling with chronic stress and overthinking. We battled some major health conditions over the past 2 years, where he was hospitalized for quite some time. And after that, he came out of hospital. He set up, he had his own company, if you like, which was successful, but he knew something was missing, and he was still struggling with a lack of confidence and self-worth from being hospitalized, and from the condition that he still lives with today, to now being a man who is completely in control of his life, crystal clear on his purpose and vision for the future. He's rid of his sabotaging behaviours that were causing him stress and worry. And, in his word, physically, mentally and emotionally, the strongest that he has ever been, and the best place that he's been in years. To one of my other brothers, Steve, look at the pictures. If pictures could tell a story, look at these pictures, because they certainly do. So from the left to the right, this is the transformation that has taken place for Steve, for being a man who felt hopeless, a man who was without direction in his life, unfulfilled and anxious, a slave to his vices, because when we're not inspired, men, we live an uninspired life, and we become a slave to unhealthy vices. And, this then ties into a lack of self-worth and a lack of validation and fulfillment in the world, to now being a man who, he's magnetizing the life he wants. He's showing up fully in his life, for his family and in his relationships. He has a bulletproof vision and purpose in his life. And, he's completely mastering all the elements in his life, while also getting rid of the unhealthy vices that were no longer serving him. And to my brother, Mike, another brother who has gone from pain to purpose in his life, to being a man, struggling, with anxiety and socially struggling, to being a man whose business was massively struggling, lacking boundaries, his health was struggling, lacking again that purpose and that direction and that structure in life that is so important for us to have as men, to then, implementing this set step-by-step process, and being a man who's now in complete control of where he's moving in his life, becoming more disciplined. His business has skyrocketed. He's now a man who is stepping fully into leadership, stepping into his power as a man, and feeling like the most confident version of himself. And this is exactly what I help men to do. And this is just following a simple step-by-step process that we can implement in our lives. So looking again here, man, over the past year, I've helped over 70 men to implement the exact methodology I'm about to show you, and here is some of the testimonials that they have shared with this process. And as well as that, over the past few years, I've helped over 400 men to do just this. So this is called the Map to Mastery method, and this is a set method and a universal roadmap for personal growth that any man, regardless of their background, can use. But the thing is, man, not any man can do it. It's not open to any man. This is open to the top few percent of men who are serious about their self-development and want to reach their full potential and unlock their potential in the world so they can be the man they know they want to be. So the Map to Mastery is 4 pillars, 4 simple pillars that we implement in our life. And when we implement these pillars and when we look at where they are, if we've got strong foundations, the rest of our life can build off these foundations, fellas. So looking at this process, this step-by-step process is where we will unlock your full potential. This is where we take control of your structure, your discipline in the world as a man, the actions that you're taking. We look at your mindset, we get that bulletproof, we look at your mental resilience, and we unlock your confidence and your belief systems. We work with opening your heart in the world as a man so you can experience joy, so we're not always seeking it externally, but we're able to cultivate an embodied experience as a man and tap into our felt experience. And last but not least, the final pillar is stepping into transformation. It's taking self-governance in the world as a man. It's unlocking your vision, it's unlocking your purpose, and it's unlocking your full potential, which allows us as men to transform our lives. So the next step, men, is what 98% of men will do, is they'll do nothing. They'll continue to carry on life as they always have, only to get to the end of their life and not have lived life to their full potential and not have lived life on their terms. Or, you can do again what 98% of men will do. They'll try to do it on their own. They'll try to get to where they want to get to on their own. They'll try to get there without the help of anybody else. They'll try to be successful on their own, and they will deal with their emotions on their own. And this will only lead them to continue to live a life and perpetuate the current pain that they are in. Or lastly, what can you do? Get expert guidance, get expert advice of people who have been there and done it to fast track your journey to self-mastery in the world as a man. So what is the next steps? It is to book a free Map to Mastery call with me, where we will identify your unique blueprint as a man and look at what areas you're struggling with, man. We'll create a game plan around the exact current circumstances of your life and how to get these problems dealt with and solved, and then we can move forward in the world as men with strength, with power, and with purpose. So all you have to do, man, is click on the link below and book a call, and we can get this handled. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really look forward to speaking with you soon.